And another little share on other aspects with matrix reimprinting and EFT. That is the what I think is very fascinating is allergies. The other day I was really grateful that I asked as a reference I asked one of the clients to describe a bit, and I met her and she had asthmatic attacks. I even met her during an asthmatic attack, and yeah, she was having very much difficulties with the breathing, and it was she was not far from good, and it was really worrying everybody. So we sat down and we did a session, and she was okay after that. And then we did several sessions later on to help her with her asthma. And I didn't know what happened. I just knew we had some sessions online, and then she continued her life. She was grateful, and she had well, things happened in life, and she got big things on her way. And sometimes we had a online, sometimes we had a live session, and as I asked the other day, how if she could make a reference on this allergy, because I knew we had worked on issues, but I didn't really know how it came out. And then I was so surprised that she said, "Yeah, after that it was gone. She doesn't have any asthmatic attacks anymore." And that was so like good for me to hear, because very often it happens that people start but they don't continue, and different issues also, that after one or two sessions life is so different that the big things aren't big anymore. So that's interesting, but of course I like to have examples of people that have cleared allergy. So there's another client that I accompanied that was with issues with allergy also, with related with cats, but it was somebody who's going a lot to help people in their houses, and that was of course then difficult if there were cats. So we dived into this, well, different allergies, not just cats, but there were different combination of allergies, and we dived into that and we did a few sessions. And what was very nice is that she could go to houses, and well, I think now after 3 years it is now, she has again taken her masks to protect herself, and it's not because of the cat hairs, but because of coronavirus she has to deal with. So it's different in a different way, and meaning that yeah, she can function pretty normal. Of course, she doesn't need to take these inhalators, and the other woman, she doesn't need to take inhalators, and yeah, sometimes maybe they have a bit of coughing attacks, or but nothing compared to what they used to have. So, and that's normal. It's not that's not just with me. It's normal with matrix reimprinting and EFT that you can dive, do inner work, and even allergy things are getting better. And I will not say that it's always resolved, but it can get a lot better. So it's interesting, and that also, of course, we dive. It's a physical thing, but we get into the emotion. But now today I had a nice, or yesterday, today, a nice example of something that came to me. Okay, maybe that's where is the relation with the emotions and the other things. If we go into a physical thing, like the back, then there's like there's emotional aspect, there's barriers, but because of that, the back doesn't function so good. Yeah, so that's very understandable. But if we go into other things of the body, you can imagine that organs that they have a function, they produce in a certain way, they produce things. Yeah, they help to digest, they help. And if something is not functioning very well there, if you dive into that, and even though we work on the emotional aspects, you can change, as you can change the sensations in your back, and not only the sensations, the really the state of your back, you can also change the state of your organs. And then we get to, if you get change the how is functioning your organs, you can understand that the things you have in your blood are responding in a different way. So the example I wanted to give is that the other day there came one of the kids came with a lot of bites of insects. Don't know what insects, but and then we heard that of course if you have some problems with mosquitoes, etc., if you have more vitamin B or maybe B12, I'm not sure what it was, then you can fight. Let's say your blood gets less interesting for those insects, And that's of course very logical because the insects, they have preference for certain kind of taste in the blood, let's say taste, ingredients in the blood. So if you change those ingredients, you get more or less attractive. So if you have some emotional issue where in this area where uh, that is affecting your levels of B vitamins in your blood, then it's understandable that if you work on the emotional aspects and now this organ is functioning in a better way, that then also it's changing in the blood levels. So then you get less attractive for the parasites, let's call them. So in this way, it's understandable that even working on emotional things, you can do something with parasites. So fascinating, yeah.